Hello everyone, and how exciting. Look who is in my chair today. It is Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
Hello, Andreas. How are you?
I'm really well. How are you?
Really good. I'm happy to see you.
I'm beyond excited. You know, when I sent the invites out, you were the first one to reply. I can't thank you enough.
Aw.
I mean, how is it even possible with 5 children to have time for anything else?
Well, don't tell the other people because I was maybe quick with you, but I'm very slow with everybody else.
Cut that out for everyone else. Oh my God, like first question. So I thought about how did we actually meet? Do you remember?
We were working on something, but I know I came to the Salon. That's where I met you, was in the Salon.
Because you
it was
were
a job
muse.
for something.
You were the muse for John Frieda.
Really? Was I?
Yeah, you were a muse.
Wow.
And then
I should have savoured that more. I'm never a muse.
You were, Don. You were a muse. And I think I did your hair then for like a fashion show.
Yes, that's
with
right.
With all of that. And then, but one of my highlights was definitely the big hair for Gay Pride. Do you remember that?
Yes, of course.
Well, Sophie said, what should we do? And I was like, let's go big. The gays, we love it.
That was beautiful.
And that was amazing.
And that's how I also met our friend Julie Cooper, who did my makeup. And I worked with her only in like November.
Because you went to Australia,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Oh, that is amazing. So tell me about, so you just did New York. How brilliant is that?
So I was in New York for New Year, and it was a bit like riding a sort of theme park ride of Times Square New Year's Eve. I took my eldest boy Sonny and my mum, and Richard, my husband, and my brother Jack are in my band, so they were performing with me, and it was part of this show called Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year with Ryan Seacrest, which has been running since 1970. So Dick Clark used to be the host.
I thought it was...
Did your brain just stop there?
I was like... Dick, okay.
Okay. Yeah, there were some words after that.
Okay. So it's a gay thing. You hear the word dick and you get all excited. Sorry. Dick, say it again. Woo, it's working.
It's this show that's been running since the early 70s. And there's lots of places where they have stages, but the Times Square one is where they have a ball that drops and when it turns into the new year, and then they have all this confetti that gets released, and it's all in Times Square, which gets shut down specifically for this event. So as someone who's always loved New York and has had, happily lots of lovely, quite formative memories from there, being in Times Square where they shut it down, and it was all like we woke up on New Year's Eve and the place was absolutely silent and empty.
That is amazing.
It was really, I loved it. It's so exciting to see somewhere familiar, like empty like that. And the NYPD kind of run it. And then they let in the crowd, and they're there for hours. And then lots of people hop up and perform, and it's exciting.
Was it one of your dreams?
You know what?
What is your dream,
honestly,
actually? I mean, you've done so much in the last 2 years. It's like, not obviously through your whole career, but it seems like now, it's unbelievable.
Well, New Year for me really summed up how extraordinary last year was in total, because I had 2 very significant things for New Year that would not have happened were it not for what happened with Murder on the Dance Floor.
Yeah.
Pretty much this time last year, which is quite mind-bending. But we did a New Year's Eve show for the BBC, and that was a whole gig. So I did half an hour either side of midnight, which for me was like a career highlight, actually. But then the Times Square event, up until last year, I'd never even done so much as an interview in America. I hadn't done anything, and because of what happened with Murder, it was like a new song for America, which is crazy.
Because it's like 20. How long is it ago? 20
it's like
years
23 years old.
Because I remember I texted you after I watched Saltburn, and then obviously it all kicked off, and then I thought to myself, and I texted you and I said, oh my God, this is so amazing, and you said, oh, everyone thinks it's a new song, it's 20 years old.
Yeah, in America particularly, because it had never been a hit there, it had never been released there, and then it became a hit record last year, which is just something I just really enjoyed. Like, what an extraordinary thing. So to cap the year off in Times Square like that was like a big like champagne pop of like what the year had been.
But also what I think is so nice that you're obviously with Richard, your husband, you are with your family in the band and all of that. That must be so nice. Because otherwise you would never see, because he's in a band in the Feelings, and you would never see anyone. Yeah,
and I think also I just don't know what those experiences, what last year would have felt like if I wasn't able to share it with him and with my brother and my band. It made it all fun, and I'm such a big believer in enjoying the adventure of it all, because otherwise you turn around and that was kind of it, you know.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? So
yeah.
the more you can get the most out of and the happiness out of where you find yourself, the better, really.
Yeah. So we need to talk about hair, obviously,
Oh,
a little
please,
bit.
yeah. Let's talk
So,
about hair.
yeah, because obviously. So what was your ever, is it English? What was your ever?
No, you can-
The worst ever. Sebastian normally corrects me. After 24 years, I still get it wrong, but it's cute apparently.
It's
a
very
German
charming.
thing. It's cute.
Yeah.
Thank you. So how was it again? The worst ever hair you had? Don't
So-
say the big hair for keep white. I did now. Otherwise, I'm going to cry and leave.
Every time you're involved, I'm happy. So when I came to write, I wrote an autobiography a few years back, and I dedicated an entire chapter to terrible haircuts because I've had so many experiences with terrible haircuts and terrible hairdos, mainly because I'm a bit impulsive. And my first experience of a terrible haircut was when I walked past a place that was doing £5 haircuts in Camden, where I was living at the time. I was
You go,
about
girl.
18, 19. I'm like, £5, wicked. Thank you, Mr. Toppers. I'm in. And I'd asked for I wanted a bob, and it just kept getting shorter and shorter until it was, you know, like in
A
Sound
£5 haircut.
Yes, you know, in The Sound of Music when Maria is a nun and she
Yeah.
had to have it lopped up rather uncaringly. That was me. And I went home and I put some hair clips in it and tried to make it look better, and it just didn't. That's what I look like on the back of my first ever album, was this terrible haircut.
How old were you?
19, 18, 19. I cried. First
Did you
time I
go
cried.
back?
No, I did not venture back to Mr. Toppers. However, I did have another experience where, not that long after that, actually, I'd probably just grown it out, and I was walking along, again in Camden, actually.
You should stay away from
I
Camden,
know,
love.
Camden and hair and me does not mix. And I got stopped, and so I was like 20, 21, and they said, oh, we'll do a free haircut for Vidal Sassoon. You can be one of our models. Come along on a Tuesday night. So I went, I thought, oh, great. Went along, and this very, very sweet chap was cutting my hair, and he'd pinned half of it up, leaving half of it down. And he said halfway through, it's so great cutting hair where it doesn't matter what the client thinks. And I remember thinking, I'm pretty sure that's me. And I do care. And he basically cut off half of the weight of half of my hair, and then put down the rest and sort of cut into it. It was like one of those rock mullet wigs that you can
Look
buy
at my face.
in a
I'm
joke
like,
shop.
What? So because obviously you were a model for free,
yeah.
he thought that he can do whatever.
He thought, oh, great, I'll just free reign.
She's not
So
there.
he did this terrible haircut for me. Again, I walked out and I remember I put it in bunches, went to visit a girlfriend of mine, took my hair out, and she literally cried laughing. It was so bad. So then, this is where, okay, maybe I am the common denominator in the badness. I went back because he said, okay, now we'll dye it for free. So then I had this mullet dyed blonde. Oh, it was bad. It was bleak. It was a bleak time, okay?
Are there pictures of it? You need to
Yes,
send them to
happily. Yeah, then when I released Groove Jet, that was the haircut I had for that. So yeah, it's often something I've managed to immortalize somehow. Then I had extensions put in for a little while that grew out.
Yeah.
And the guy who did that for me was like, "You're
For
gonna
free?
love." No, it cost a bloody fortune.
It's expensive.
And the guy was like, "You're gonna love this. It's gonna change your life." And it didn't. I started picking them all out. So people would come round to see me, and I'd be like pulling them out while I was watching telly,
And everyone
putting it in a
thought,
little
yeah.
paper bag by the side of my sofa. Absolutely disgusting. Things went up from there. I haven't had a truly terrible hair experience since then. But they were all awful, really bad.
God, and so that was actually my next question. Did you ever go blonde?
Yeah, I've been blonde a couple of times.
Did you enjoy it?
Blonde for me has always signified a shift in circumstance. So the first time was when I got dropped from my band and I felt like I was a bit lost. The second time I was in a long-term relationship, came home blonde, broke up not too long after with that.
Not because of the blonde hair, I hope.
I think the blonde hair means I am ready for a big shift. So if you see me blonde, it's not good news.
Wow, that's a good...
It's also in such a lot of upkeep. It'll never be me again.
Especially when you're dark. But I think it's quite interesting that you just said it, because a lot of women, when they really want to change something in their life, they really also change their hair color. Of
course.
Because men are still very obsessed with like long blonde hair, and when women want to change it or even go darker, and then they get a little bit irritated about it.
No, I think you've all got the hair that makes you feel like you.
Yeah.
And when I was at school and all my girlfriends started reaching for either actual blonde hair dye or just sun in. Do you know what sun in is? It's this spray you could put in your hair and it kind of makes it go like an orangey colour.
Yes, it's like a lemony salt spray or something.
So that was very popular at school when I was a teenager. I went dark. And dark for me is where my heart goes. And even when I was blonde, I would find myself looking at women with dark hair and thinking, I miss it. I'm meant to be brunette, I think. But I have been blue, red, pink.
I like red hair as well. I like that coppery when you kind of...
Oh, it's so
because
beautiful.
all your children have red hair, right?
Pretty much, the majority.
But Richard, that comes from Richard, because you are in your family.
Well, as a hairdresser, I thought you might know that red hair is a recessive gene. So actually, we both have to contribute the red hair, which is why it's so in the minority. So I have it from
Maybe I should start singing. Let's do that.
I'm here to educate.
Yes,
okay.
Of course I knew that.
Only 4% of the population has red hair because it is a recessive gene. So for me, it's my mum's sister, so my great aunt on the maternal side. And I think on Richard's side, it's his aunt. So we both contributed it.
I'm obsessed with red hair. I absolutely love it.
I know, it's so beautiful. I was actually standing next to a girl on the tube the other day with this red hair, and I couldn't stop looking at how the light was catching it. And my kids they've got sort of different shades of red, but it's so gorgeous.
Yeah,
and I can always find them so easily in a playground. It's like, there they are. Handy.
Because I remember I went to a client of mine, she flew me to south of France, to Saint-Tropez actually, to throw that in, to do all their hair for a big party. So I did the highlights for them and all of this, and then we stayed with a friend of ours, and I thought, you know what, I go to Mykonos, I just bleach my front a little bit. And then I got so scared, I should know better, I don't know why I did it, and I rinsed it out, and I remember I came back onto the terrace, and my friend looked at me. She didn't say anything. I was like, what? And she said, you know what? You look like someone pissed on your head. It's so yellow. And that's how it was. And then I started cutting it. And in the end, I had like this little micro fringe, but it was still in there. And then we got to Mykonos and everyone was like, oh, did you try to kind of make your hair a little bit sun-kissed for your gay holiday? And I was like, oh, God. I mean, I should know better, but I was kind of like, let's go for it.
Sometimes you just get an impulse, though, don't you? Like,
yeah, you just have to.
I used to cut my own hair when I was like a teenager as well, just lop off bits. I'm going to give myself a fringe now. I'm going to give myself a trim.
I guess it was better than the other Camden experience.
Definitely it was. But also, it's just like, it's fun. I mean, playing with your hair and doing things is really fun.
Yeah, but you do that anyway. I mean, you are so always. I always love your outfits and all of that.
Thank you.
So vintage. It's so all.
Quite dressing up box and
campy, and you enjoyed it. Always the feathers and the glitter and all. I'm obsessed with it. Thanks. And also your hair. But your best friend is your hairdresser, right?
So when I did my first ever solo video, I met a woman called Louise who did my makeup and a woman called Lisa who did my hair.
Yeah.
And yeah, the three of us have been very close since then. So that's over 20 years. They're both godmothers to my third born. And Lisa does makeup as well. So she ended up doing pretty much every music video with me. And yeah, we're really close. But I think you know what it's like. You meet people early on and they become like your sort of touchstones of like people that make you feel good and make you excited. So I still work with her. Lisa did my hair and makeup for the BBC New Year's Eve show. I know we've got such a lot of shorthand together. You know what it's like. You can say, oh, that thing we did once, or can we do it like this but different? And it's just.
Do you get involved? Do you?
Yeah, I love it, but I can't do it. I do my own hair and makeup when I'm doing my gigs.
Yeah.
So all my touring, that's me. But
I can always come, darling, if Lisa is sick or something.
Well, Lisa doesn't do my hair for my gigs. It's me. I mean, but I'm terrible. I've never learnt how to do.
But you do lots of ponytails and things.
Ponytail I can do. Hair up, hair down.
Yeah.
Occasional half pony. These are the options that we have.
You need to take Richard. Someone should give Richard.
I want one of my kids. I'm hoping I'm raising a hairdresser. It would be so handy.
Do you think one of them will?
It's not looking likely right now.
But then, I mean, my mother, she was so depressed when I left Germany because she thought she's getting 3 haircuts for the rest of her life. And I left, she's never forgiven me. But now she's got this hairdresser who she absolutely loves because she gets an asymmetric German fringe.
Ooh.
A spike a little. And she said, oh, can you just do it like she does it? And I'm like, you know what, Mom, only in Germany you want to look like. I mean, it's quite horrendous when you really, but they do that in Germany, which I don't understand. Like, still to this day, like when I trained as a hairdresser when I was 16 or 17, all a blur, and they were always saying, oh, after 40 you need to cut your hair short, and it's still stuck in Germany. Like I go there and I see so many women who don't like even look good with short hair, but they feel like they are younger.
But then I think, people's relationship with their hair is such an emotional one too, isn't it? And, I'm sure everybody can think of people where they've had the same hairdo.
Yeah.
Which I'm sort of, as I say, I'm realizing it's me as well. But, you have this version of yourself, and then sometimes you can kind of get crystallized at a point in your life.
Yeah.
And it becomes what makes you feel like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to break out of that sometimes.
I think it is, because sometimes I think, especially when the hair is, I think a lot of women, because when they've been told that they look amazing and all of that with really long whatever hair in their 20s and in their 30s, they stuck with it. But I'm not saying that I don't like middle-aged or like a certain age type of women with long hair. I do love it, but it has to be maybe slightly different,
Yeah.
because if it's like, what I don't like is when it's all like one length and it hangs down to the waist and nothing is happening. I'm not so sure that's so flattering.
But then maybe that's quite an emotional thing. I had a girlfriend at school like that who always had her hair really long, and the idea of cutting it to her was, it meant more than just a haircut.
I think it's a safety curtain as well.
Definitely.
It's the same with like the fringes and all of that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people hide behind, and also like say from Botox, a lot of women tell me that when they have a fringe, they don't need to inject all the stuff in their forehead.
Well, I neither have Botox nor a fringe,
good
so
for
where does
you,
that
John.
leave me?
I have it all done, darling. Everything, nothing. I'm not gonna age gracefully, I decided. But as a gay hairdresser, you're allowed. You have to, and everyone is talking.
Well, you're pretty
about
encouraged as a pop star too, let me tell you.
But you wouldn't do it.
I don't think I feel comfortable with it for me. No, but I don't judge it in any. I've got loads of girlfriends that do. I've come this far, and also I suppose, since I was a little girl, I looked at like my mum's face and my granny's face, and I felt quite captivated really by seeing people getting older. This is going to sound quite weird, but sometimes I quite enjoy seeing myself evolving. Like that doesn't freak me out. I am a 45-year-old woman, and I don't mind looking. I think I want to look well. I want to look rested.
Yeah.
I want to look happy and healthy.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I need to look younger, because I'm not. That's okay.
God, I wished I could say the same. I really struggle with it. I don't know
yeah.
why. I think there was this one morning when I woke up and I thought to myself, oh my God. But then husband Sebastian, like recently, 3 people actually told me that they thought he was the younger one in our marriage.
Oh, that's,
so I called my plastic surgeon and I said, darling, listen, love, this is it. No, I really need to do something about it, because I freaked out.
No, I get that. And I do understand sometimes as well, you might be fine with it up to a point, and then one day you think, okay, no, I'm not sticking with that. Because if it makes you feel miserable or doesn't represent how you feel on the inside, I don't have any judgment about it at all. I really don't. And there might be a time when I'm like, right, hook me up.
Yeah.
But I suppose just for now, I'm okay. Today,
because
okay.
it can go wrong, isn't it? I mean, it's like a lot of times it's so obvious, and it's actually kind of like, ooh, this gone a little bit too far, and you don't need it. But what I find really depressing is actually when you watch like Love Island or shows like that, and that's like a lot of assistants here. They're 17, and they would actually think they have to do that to fit in or to get a boyfriend, and they think about a nose job, a boob job, having their lips done, and they all look the same.
Well, yeah, and I also have concerns like that for my boys actually, because there's a lot of things online. Have you heard of looks maxing?
No.
So it's this this aspect of social media where it's these guys talking to other younger guys saying, you need to work on your jawline, you need to work on your, to get yourself, you need to get the maximum out of yourself to be a successful person, to be in a successful relationship. And it's a lot of pressure. And even one of my kids was suddenly like, I need to chew gum for an hour every day because then it'll work on the muscles, and I don't
Does
like
it help?
No.
Has anyone got some gum?
So they're just little boys.
I start tomorrow.
It's just, I don't know.
I start now.
Yes. I think I just found it, when I was looking at it, made me feel a bit sad. And I think boys can sometimes get left out of the conversation because it's assumed that it's something they're not thinking about. But I think that they do. Are. Yeah, they do, and they are. And I think particularly in this strange world we're in at the moment, where we've given so much, rightly so much space to raising strong, confident, independent women. And I can think of a bucket load of young women that I would think are excellent role models for young girls. But I think for young boys, I think it gets a bit skewed. And I think there's obviously some absolutely wonderful guys out there that are good role models. But there's also a swathe of that's rooted in the toxic, and we've got to keep an eye on it, keep the conversation open, keep talking to boys about how they're feeling about things. We're a very communicative house, and I still think about it, so I think it's just something worth keeping an eye on them. I'd hate them to feel like their value is caught up in how they look, or that it's heartbreaking if your kid seems to be disappointed in themselves when they reach double figures. It's a horrible feeling.
Oh my God, I'm getting depressed now. No, but it's so. I don't have children, but I mean, the pressure of what goes on at the moment with those shows and with those apps. I mean, that is horrendous that they have to.
Yeah.
That they feel, but also that they feel like that. Do they get bullied for their red hair and all of that?
Definitely, that's been something they've experienced. Yeah, definitely, which is it's really harsh. But rather than make you feel down, hopefully by having conversations, it can actually keep an eye on it and keep it on the right side of things. Because mostly it's reasons to be cheerful, for sure.
Yeah, because I always say I've got a client and her daughter's got red hair, and I always say to her, whatever anyone ever says to you, trust me, when you are older, you will be obsessed with it because it's so special.
Yes.
And I love it, but obviously people always will pick on you in the easy way.
Yeah, and also, I mean, like at school, it's brutal, isn't it? You get secondary school, anything that marks you out becomes the thing you will be teased at. Like, it's extraordinary how you have this desire at that age group just to blend in, just to be the same as your mates, to be part of the pack. It's a really strong instinct.
Yeah.
And then you get a bit older and you're like, actually, all those things about me that set me apart are the things I'll now, give space to and invest in and enjoy with myself. But you have to kind of hold your nerve for quite a while while you're feeling on the outside.
How do they deal with parents being famous?
I don't know. It's not really something we talk about, but
you don't talk about, because I always wonder about that when I would go.
Can you imagine?
I don't know. It's like,
kids, how was your day at school? Did anyone talk about me today?
Did they sing Murders on the Dance Floor?
Yeah, how was that? No, I think
they didn't. Okay, I'm coming in tomorrow.
Exactly.
No, but I always wonder, like how that is when you go somewhere with children, and I mean, and then people come up to you. They must come up to you for a picture or like talk to you, and
occasionally. Although people generally, if you're out with your kids, they kind of
let you alone.
To it. But also, I suppose it's never a big deal. The focus on home life is about what my kids have been up to, and actually I need that as much as they do. Like, my job can be a bit silly, and I'm lucky, look at us now. I'm able to talk about myself a lot. So going home and finding out about them is what keeps me with one foot on the ground, hopefully.
Any more kids?
Oh, I think I'm too old, but I also think 5 is enough.
It's unbelievable to juggle all of that. You must have an army of help at home.
I've definitely got lots of support. It comes in lots of different ways, and actually as the kids get older, they themselves, I mean, my eldest is 20 now, so I've actually got like an adult person now. But yeah, I've got support in every which way, really, whether it be, I mean, to be honest, even seeing friends has always been the thing as well that really helps me out, and talking to my mates and sharing stories and just keeping a bit of perspective and keeping an eye on what's these sort of universal truths of raising a family. That's partly why I started my podcast as well. I mean, I'm sure.
What is it called? Spinning plates.
Spinning plates.
Do you talk about music?
I talk to working women who happen to be mothers, so it's they can have any walk of
yours then. Working women.
You are immediately eliminated, I'm afraid.
Okay, great.
On a couple of grounds, as it happens.
Can you call my therapist, please? I need to work on that. Thank you. Right. It's like not even holding back, telling me.
No, it's very clear boundaries over here.
And you do a radio show now?
I do a radio show, yes. I have a show I've done on Radio 2, actually for a few years now, I think it is, 2 or 3 years. Oh. And it's called Kitchen Disco. And
That's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to tell you about, because obviously the Kitchen Disco was the highlight of my lockdown.
Wow.
And I always loved your children, like the little one who kind of always ran off, and you always went like, okay, then off you go. And it was kind of like, and Richard with like his horse hat and all.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that idea?
So when lockdown first started in the UK, we'd already been in our own family lockdown for a little while because one of the kids had been sent home from school with a cough. So we were all like holed up for 10 days and already going a bit mad. And then Richard said, why don't we broadcast like a disco on your Instagram feed? You can just sing some of your songs, do a couple of covers. We'll just do like 20 minutes. And I thought it actually sounded like complete lunacy. But I also didn't have anything else to suggest. And also, I couldn't do anything else. I really wanted to connect with people somehow, but I didn't. I was like, why didn't I keep doing my piano lessons or my guitar lessons? I can't accompany myself. So I just felt like I want to sing. I want to lose myself in something for a minute. I want to have a connection with people because I miss everyone. So we did this 20-minute disco, and it was really chaotic, but it also made us feel better.
And us, thank you. I was obsessed with it. That was one of one of my highlights. It really was.
Well, same for me.
I thought it was so cheery, and it was just fun, and everyone was mental.
Bit silly, right?
No, but in a good way. It was just mental with all the kids running around, and you in the middle of it all singing, and Richard with the horse head in the background. I was like, what is going on there?
Well, it was crazy, but I think everybody was having their version of crazy, but also having a place to sort of meet like that in a community. And also being able to be a bit silly because the news was so heavy. I just wanted to do something other, something transportative or cathartic or whatever it was.
But did you ever think that it would kick off like that?
No.
And also then what came after?
No, I honestly thought people were going to laugh at me, or I thought people might think what I was doing was in very bad taste because it was bit daft and everybody was being so sort of serious and earnest and poignant with the, you know, I was going on my Instagram and someone would be singing this beautiful song that was sad, and I was thinking, I've got enough sad on my shoulders. I need something that makes me feel light. Yeah. And, you know, that's why I would go on someone's Instagram live while they're like doing some craft or making something
or bake banana
eat.
bread. I
mean,
seriously,
or
that
like
was
doing a dog walk or anything just simple, homely, cozy, good. Thank you. That's about where my head's at. So yeah, that's what the discos were. And then, so the radio show kind of came out of that. But the heart of what the disco was always about just being stuck at home and having music as escape. Because music's been that for me since I was a kid. I do it for a day job, but my love affair with music runs way, way deeper than doing it as a day job. It's something that actually makes me feel better. I function better with it in my life.
Yeah, no, oh my God, music is, I mean, I don't know much about music, actually. Everyone always goes, do you know that band? And I'm like, no.
Oh, I'm rubbish like that too, though, to be fair.
I don't know why I'm so rubbish with it, actually.
It doesn't stay in my head.
And then I hate those, not hate them, that's a little bit of a strong word, but I hate those people who know all the words. I know actually the words to Murder on the Dance Floor, thank you very much. But I don't know, I can sing Nena, 99 Red Balloons, but the German version, thank you very much. But I can sing the German anthem, but that's a different song. But I really don't know many words to, and I hate, those people who can just sit there or at a party and they go, wah, 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 and I'm like, how is that even possible?
You might have prioritized other things. I mean, I know raps to songs that I heard at school, which serves no.
Raps?
Yeah. Like, let's
have
get ready to rumble.
Have you ever done a rap? You should do a rap on your new album or something.
I'm not very good. I just enjoy them. Salt and Pepper, Betty Boo.
Oh my God, I love that.
Nena Cherry, Ant and Dec. PJ and Duncan as they were to me.
Oh yeah, I never knew that. I found out about them that they did that.
Let's get ready to rumble. Like, I think I once did it for them and they did not. I don't think they were as impressed as I thought they were going to be, maybe.
They were not impressed.
Not really, no.
Oh, they could have pretended at least.
I'm probably not the first person to do it. Oh, and what about the John Barnes rap in World in Motion, New Order? Remember the football? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going off on a tangent. But
also that you talked to a hairdresser about football. I'm like,
but
what?
Also that I am talking about the things I learned when you were actually learning a skill. You were actually learning how to cut hair. I was just learning lyrics. If my school work had been set to song, I think I would have done better.
I asked most of my guests, actually, is there any question you have for, you always wanted to ask a hairdresser, are you a hairdresser? You never dared to.
Oh, well, I think my main question has always come back to just, can I learn? I would love to be good at doing my own hair. I don't feel like I've only been given one set to practice on, and I've had over 40 years worth of practice, and I still can't do it. Is it too late for me to learn how to do some cool stuff on my hair? No, it's never too late. Okay.
But you can get lessons. You can just, I mean, it's actually quite simple to teach someone. Actually, with hair, it's kind of like, I always say that to assistants. You just have to know before you start doing something why and what you want to achieve.
Okay.
Because women get lost. You know, it's like you start off blow drying your hair and then in the end you just blast it and then you're surprised that it's all frizzy. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it started off nicely and then you go completely mental. And I'm like, it doesn't really work like that, darling. So you kind of just have to. But no, there are some little tricks. But I think you always look. I love
what should I do with it? Should I get a haircut? I haven't had a cut properly for it. I mean, I quite like having the flexibility of having longer length.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's up. It's.
Pass me the scissors.
Again, it's a feeling. No, let's go for a free haircut to be done soon. Go to Camden, darling.
Please.
Darling, I'm always
They've
here for
had
you.
my tears already.
Don't want to upset Lisa, obviously, who normally looks after
worry.
your hair. But
no, she would just roll her eyes at me probably, because I'll be fine. Then I'll just suddenly be like, let's go for it.
No, it's a change. No, but I actually love when with longer hair, then the ends look a little bit fucked. I do like that when they're not too too straight. So, what's the future? Last question. The future.
What's the future?
What's happening with Sophie Ellis-Bextor?
Oh, my future. I thought you meant globally.
Oh, darling, I don't think we have enough. No. 2 days later. Okay, Sophie.
Like that famous,
please.
that famous Bowie interview where he predicted the internet.
I'm not done, Andreas. Wait for it. I'm not done.
My future is music shaped. I am just finishing off my 8th album. And so basically, over the last year, I've been working on new music. And it's felt really nice. Everything that happened with Murder on Dancefloor was lovely and serendipitous because I was already making a pop dance disco album, which I actually haven't done for over a decade.
Yeah.
And what happened with Murder got me in the room with lots of really good people who probably wouldn't have said yes to me before. So I totally exploited that. And I've worked with some great pop writers and producers. And
Fantastic.
I'm super excited. Lord knows what will happen to it, but it's exactly the album I meant to make. So I'm excited. I always love having.
We are all excited, but I still find it so fascinating that something happened 20 years ago, and then it comes back, and now what you just said, which I think is quite to the point that the people would have maybe not worked with you, and now they obviously kind of go, oh, you know, and all of that.
Because. You know, it's like when there's good momentum and the wind in your sails. Hopefully it's a happy place to be part of something that's got a bit of that energy around it. But I'm very fortunate because I genuinely adore it, and I think if I didn't love what I do so much, then I don't think I would have got so much out of it in terms of feeding my soul really. And I was already working last year on other things, so it was like being on a running track and going from like a little jog to suddenly finding yourself sprinting. And then this year is all about finishing off the album, getting it all done. I've got a UK tour in May, June.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah, you should come.
I have to come.
I'm doing the Royal Albert Hall for the London date, which is quite fancy and such a beautiful venue. And I've always wanted to play it, so that'd be lovely.
That's how I'm going to be.
Lush, come to that, yes.
I'm excited. Listen, darling, I'm beyond excited that you made time for me because thank you, darling. And I always will cut your hair, so feel free to chat to me. So, Elisa, competition, thank you. And I'm not doing asymmetric or like a Camden. You are Notting Hill, darling. You are safe. No, and good luck. Send my love to Richard.
Will do.
And thank you so much. It's been brilliant.
Always
Lovely
a pleasure.
to see you.
Lovely to see you
Thank you, darling. Thank you.